Have you ever found yourself stuck in a conversation, nodding along while someone speaks, but your mind is a million miles away, just waiting for your turn to talk, to insert your own story, your own opinion? Have you ever scrolled through your phone, falling down a rabbit hole of comments, feeling a slow burn of anger or superiority at the thoughts of a stranger you've never met? Have you ever made a mistake, a small one, a silly one, and felt that hot flush of shame, and immediately looked for someone or something else to blame? The traffic was bad. Your coworker didn't give you the right file. The world was just against you today. We've all been there. We live these moments, these tiny, everyday habits, and we think nothing of them. They feel automatic, harmless, just the background noise of a busy life. But what if I told you that these habits are broken bar, these small, seemingly insignificant patterns are not just habits? What if they are whispers? Whispers from a part of ourselves that is afraid, that is stagnant, that is refusing to grow. We often think of intelligence as a fixed number, a score on a test from our youth. But that's a myth. The truest form of intelligence, the kind that shapes a life of meaning and connection, is not about how much you know. It's about how you navigate what you don't know. It's a fluid, ever-changing quality. It's not about the facts in your head, but the openness in your heart. And the greatest threat to this living, breathing intelligence isn't a lack of information. It's the slow, steady accumulation of habits that build walls around your mind. Let's talk about the first whisper, the habit of listening only to reply. Think about the last time you were truly, deeply heard. Not just heard, but listened to. The person you were speaking with wasn't just waiting for a pause. They were fully present. Their eyes were on you. You could feel that they were with you, in your story, feeling what you were feeling. It's a rare and beautiful thing, isn't it? Now, contrast that with the far more common experience. You're sharing something vulnerable, something important to you, and you can see the person's eyes glazing over. You can almost see the gears turning in their head as they formulate their response, their better story, their piece of advice. They aren't in your world, they are waiting to drag you back into theirs. This habit is not just a social faux pas. It is a profound failure of curiosity. It is a declaration that your own internal universe is more interesting, more valid, than the one standing right in front of you. And when you stop being curious about other people, about their experiences, their joys, their pains, a broken bar, your world becomes very, very small. You are trapped in the echo chamber of your own thoughts, and no new melody can ever get in. You stop learning. And a mind that stops learning, no matter how many degrees it holds, is a mind that is choosing a slow decline. Then, there is the second whisper, the habit of clinging to the familiar, and fearing the new. It's the immediate dismissal of a new idea with a wave of the hand and the words, "That's not how we've ever done it." It's the reluctance to try a new food, to read a book by an author you've never heard of, to visit a place that isn't on the typical tourist trail. It's the comfort of your own echo chamber, where every news source confirms your biases, and every friend shares your opinions. This feels safe. It feels secure. But it is the intellectual equivalent of living on a diet of only white bread. It will keep you alive, but it will leave you malnourished, weak, and unable to handle anything more substantial. The most intelligent minds are not rigid. They are flexible. They are adaptable. They understand that being wrong is not a death sentence for the ego, but a birth of new understanding. They can hold an idea in their hands, examine it from all angles, even if it contradicts their deepest beliefs, and say, "This is interesting. Teach me." That takes a courage that a closed mind can never comprehend. And this leads us to the third, and perhaps the loudest, whisper, the habit of the blame game. We see it everywhere. The person who never gets a promotion because the boss is unfair. The person whose relationships always fail because they just pick the wrong people. The person who is always the victim of circumstance, of bad luck, of a universe that has it out for them. Taking responsibility is painful. It means looking in the mirror and admitting, "I messed up. My choice led me here. My reaction made it worse." That is a difficult, humbling pill to swallow. Blaming others, or circumstances, is so much easier. It's an anesthetic for the ego. It numbs the shame of failure. But that numbness comes at a terrible cost, because if you are not responsible for your situation, then you are also powerless to change it. You hand over the reins of your life to every external force, and you become a passenger on a runaway train, forever complaining about the destination but never touching the steering wheel. True intelligence accepts the weight of agency. It understands that between what happens to you and your response, there is a space. And in that space lies your freedom, your power, and your growth. Now, let's talk about the digital world. A place where these whispers can become screams. The habit of arguing with strangers online. You see a comment you disagree with, a political opinion, a movie review, something trivial, and you feel this compulsion to engage, to correct them, to show them the error of their ways. You type out a paragraph, then another, your heart rate increasing. You hit a send, and you wait. The response comes, angrier and more illogical than the first, and the cycle continues. What are you really doing in that moment? You are not debating, you are not persuading, you are feeding a dragon. The dragon of your own need to be right. You are sacrificing your peace, your time, your emotional energy on the altar of a pointless victory that will never come. Intelligent people pick their battles. They understand that some soils are too barren for a seed of reason to ever grow. They value their inner peace more than they value the fleeting, empty satisfaction of winning a digital argument that nobody else will remember in an hour. They conserve their energy for the conversations that truly matter, with the people who are actually in their lives. And finally, the most subtle whisper of all, the habit of inaction, disguised as perfectionism. I'll start when I have the perfect plan. I'll apply for that job when I have 2 more certifications. I'll launch the project when every single detail is flawless. This sounds like diligence. It sounds like high standards. But often, it's the mind's most clever trick to avoid the risk of failure. Because if you never start, you can never truly fail. You can live in the safe, comfortable world of potential, where your masterpiece exists perfectly in your imagination, untainted by the messy, critical, real world. But idea, no matter how brilliant, that never leaves your head, is a ghost. It has no weight, no impact, no life. Real intelligence understands that done is better than perfect, that the first step is always messy, that an imperfect book that is published is infinitely more valuable than a perfect one that is forever stuck in a drawer. It embraces the messy, beautiful, iterative process of creation, of learning by doing, of falling down and getting up, covered in the dust of experience, but wiser for the wear. So, what do we do when we hear these whispers, when we recognize these habits in ourselves? Do we feel shame? Do we label ourselves as unintelligent and give up? Number 1,000 times, number. The mere act of noticing these habits is the single most powerful act of intelligence you can perform. It is the dawn of self-awareness, and self-awareness is the soil in which all other growth takes root. You are not your habits. You are the awareness behind them. You are the one who can notice the urge to interrupt, and instead, choose to ask another question. You are the one who can feel the fear of a new experience, and choose to take a small step forward anyway. You are the one who can feel the impulse to blame, and instead, take a deep breath and ask, what is my responsibility in this? This is not about fixing yourself, because you are not broken. This is about awakening yourself. It's about moving from a fixed mindset, where you believe your qualities are carved in stone, to a growth mindset, where you believe you are a river, constantly flowing, constantly changing, constantly carving new paths through the landscape of your life. Every moment is a choice. The next time you're in a conversation, you can choose to be truly present. You can choose to be a student of the person in front of you. You can choose to seek first to understand, then to be understood. The next time you encounter an idea that challenges you, you can choose to get curious, not critical. You can say, that's different. Tell me more. The next time something goes wrong, you can choose to pause before you point a finger. You can look in the mirror and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? This is the practice. This is the daily, moment-to-moment work of cultivating a mind that is alive, that is open, that is truly intelligent. It won't always be easy. You will fall back into old patterns. You will catch yourself preparing your reply instead of listening. You will feel the pull of the blame game. That's okay. That's human. The work is not to be perfect. The work is to be aware. To catch yourself 1 second sooner than you did yesterday. To make a different choice. One tiny time. And over time, these new choices will become new habits. Habits of deep listening. Habits of radical curiosity. Habits of profound responsibility. Habits of focused action. And these new habits are broken bar, they will become the new whispers. Whispers of a mind that is expanding. Whispers of a heart that is opening. Whispers of a life that is not shrinking away from the world, but engaging with it fully, courageously, and intelligently. That is the beautiful destination. Not a score on a test, not a title before your name, but a mind that is free, a mind that is at peace, a mind that is always, always growing. And that is a life of true intelligence.